Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. What up, everybody? This is Jason Lee, and this is Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
And what's up? It's your girl, April Jones.
It's DJ Damage. Let's get this show started, baby.
So listen, before we get started to the recklessness, I have to say, my Instagram is back. Hollywood Unlocked Instagram is back. And we're going to just leave it right here in the lower third for the whole show. I'm so excited. But before we get into everything, please download and subscribe to the show on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. Watch us on YouTube. Subscribe there too, and on iHeartRadio.
Woohoo.
Be back.
Listen, I have this new thing where I wake up in the morning and I say, I want to get me some green tea because I do feel like a white woman living in Hollywood these days. So
Oh, my God.
I'm on my healthy shit. I caught the flu. Food poisoning and lost 10 pounds. So now I think I'm skinny. I can't shop at H&M yet.
Yeah.
But you know I'm getting there.
Is that a goal?
Is that where you're trying to, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that where you're trying to shop at? Is H&M?
H&M is when you can fit into H&M clothing, that's when you know you're on the right track. It's not necessarily something that you want to be rocking every day.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just like now I can shop where all the young, skinny white boys from West Hollywood shop.
They shop at Top Shop, by the way.
Top Shop?
Top Shop. That's better than H&M for them.
Is it?
Way
Yeah.
more expensive, too.
And it's so nice.
You want to blow the check.
You're
Right.
talking about shit I haven't been able to fit, so don't know.
Okay.
But I was sitting there sipping the green juice, and then all of a sudden, the Hollywood Unlocked Instagram popped up, and my staff went crazy. And so I was a little late today because we've been putting everything together, phone calls. We went live with Cardi, live with Sky. And
Nice.
just, people are excited. I'm excited. So we're back, and we're going to get into some things.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
That's Nicki Minaj's line, and I am taking it from the rapper from Queens. But
Oh, boy.
She's from Queens, right?
I think so.
Whatever. So we're back. April, what have you been up to?
Oh, I was about to ask, how was your weekend? Because you always seem to ask everybody else, and then you're the last one. So can I throw it back to you or not?
Sure.
How was
Okay.
your weekend?
Okay. So,
Lit.
we've talked about the Broner fight here?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about
we
it here.
did not.
We
Okay.
didn't?
No.
Okay. By the time you watch the show, you will have watched our DJ Damage and I interviewed Tiffany Haddish. April was busy. She's going to tell you what she was doing. She had a pre-commitment, and it's my fault that she wasn't there.
Thank you.
So she's definitely going to let y'all know that. Mm-hmm. But Damage and I, well, let me back up. I went to Vegas for the Broner and Pacquiao fight.
Crazy fight.
I really don't like going to sporting events because I really don't. Whether you throw it in that hole or this pot, whether the ball goes in that hole or this hole basket, I don't care. I'm not a huge sports fan.
But did you enjoy the fight?
Yeah, it's a fight.
I did enjoy the fight because we went as a team, and I wanted to see Pacquiao win, and he won. Pacquiao is that motherfucker. I don't know if y'all know
He's
this,
a
but
beast.
Pacquiao's calves are like this big.
It's bigger than his leg. I paid attention to that.
Why though?
He's a
He's
boxer.
Asian.
You got to be on your toes. You got to move your feet. Footwork.
What did he say?
He's a boxer, and I said he's Asian. If you notice, like a lot of Asians, their calves are really big.
Well, they're real
I think it's like genetic,
close
like
to the ground.
Filipinos.
He is really petite, but I mean he's a little compact, but he packs a big punch, no pun intended, and he just is nonstop. But
He's a runner.
He whipped Broner's ass, and then at the end, Broner got up there and said he won.
Broner said he won.
He was running at the end, yo. He had me dying. I'm not gonna lie. When he was running, and then he ran up and was like, and like he won. I was like, you know what, Adrian.
Do you think that he really believed he won?
I think he really did. But for me, watching as an outside, literally, he was doing this the whole time, like. And I'm just like, and I'm not really into sports either, but I'm like, dude, you're not hitting.
He's not throwing punches.
He wasn't throwing any punches.
Well, to Adrian's credit, I will say, having been around him many times, he was in a really great shape. Shout out to Badu Jack, who had a rough fight the fight before with Michael Brown. I mean, when he headbutted him and opened up that hole, it was, once that blood started coming down, it came out the entire fight. But, he stuck in there and he did it because I'm telling you something. I get a bloody nose. I go to the ER.
He was fine as hell. And I'm not saying that he ain't fine, but now he got that scar on his head.
Nah, that's a war scar.
I mean, they did a really good stitching and it looks good, so I think it'll heal good. And then there's creams and stuff.
It's 2019. Yeah, you can stitch that up, especially with the money he got from that fight.
Or you can go get some skin off your ass and put it right over your forehead.
Okay,
Yeah.
ass head.
You can
patching.
you can fix it. Oh, please. When I got shot, when I was a kid and I got shot, and there's still a scar, but it's different now. The scar was like this because the hole was like that, so they pulled it together like this, and it was darker than my leg, so it was an ugly scar. And then they were like, "Do you want to do cosmetic surgery?" I'm like, "For what?" The only person that's gonna see that is somebody giving me head, and they ain't gonna be looking at those damn scar.
They sure ain't.
Damn, almost got my dick shot off. That was amazing.
Good for you.
All right, so we interviewed Tiffany Haddish. Let me just say, shout out to Tiffany. What did you think of the interview?
First of all, she's way more funnier than you think she's going to be. Of course, she's a comedian, But it seemed like we were just having a conversation. It didn't feel like an interview. And just to feel that energy and how funny she was and the story she told, that shit was incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I
she's
missed
she's a
crazy.
natural. She's just a natural. And I think
The vibe was heavy.
I'll tell the story a little bit more in depth here because we'll have already watched the interview. But her people told her, do the interview with the View. Give it to the View. Give it to a bigger platform, a more mainstream platform. And she said, she shared on the interview, she said, no, I'm going to share it with Jason because I love his show. I love him. He keeps it real. And, he's been through what I've been through. So I thought it was great because
So dope.
I'm wearing this sweater, Black Brands Matter, and we dropped this line on
Need
Hollywood
one.
Unlocked. You can go here to thehollywoodunlocked.com/shop and get it. And I'll get one for both of you. But I created it because I feel like, especially when it comes to big movie stars like her, because although she was just sitting there funny, she's a huge movie star.
Yeah. A-list.
They don't come back to urban media. Once they get to a certain place where you're on, she was telling stories about being interviewed by Ellen and hanging with Oprah and this and that. I mean, like, this is somebody who's at a certain level of success that rarely reaches back. So for that, I just felt like, damn, like it really embodies who she is.
You a real one, Tiffany. One.
I'm sorry that
Real.
I missed it. I'm really mad.
It was
about
fun
that.
too.
Thanks, Jason.
Tell the story how you missed it.
Well, so the following week I was in Chicago and I, was working on some music, and I reached out to Jason, letting him know, hey, do we have these dates open? Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I pre-bought my ticket and set up, where I, this weekend I went and did my two music videos in Chicago. And then he tells me, yes, are you available on this date? I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on. Like, Tiffany Haddish. I'm so sad. You guys, I love her. She's Sagittarius like me. I freaking love her. I'm so upset with you.
Well, listen,
that I missed it.
I will make it up by making sure we get her in the studio at some point.
Please.
Because she, I won't lie, I was really nervous. Was I nervous?
You was nervous, but I knew you was gonna kill it. I was like, dude, it's like this is you.
I was so nervous I made him nervous because
He was like, yo.
Because you think somebody big like that. The last time I hung out with her was Miami.
Right, y'all had a great time.
That didn't go well. Because of the...
No, I know, but y'all still had fun.
But hearing the actual story that she told, it did go well. She did it on purpose. I thought that was dope too. Like, we thought she froze and forgot her stuff. She did that consciously, like, I'm not going to give y'all a show. I think that was a big thing that stood out about our sit down with her.
But I think it was a big test to show, I've been, when doing my research and reading everything, first of all, when you read her book, The Last Black Unicorn, you do learn a lot of, she's been through adversity from a kid all the way to where she is now, from an abusive husband, getting pregnant, having to go through the abortion experience, having sex with handicaps. The book is a mess.
Okay, you know what?
Pimping her ex's side chick
And his friends.
Goodness gracious.
For a small
She's a real one, for sure.
But it showed that she's had L's, she's had experiences that have been difficult, and she made it through.
Yeah.
And I think that, the fact that, and then at the end, we were able to, Fashion Nova, thank you, shout out to Fashion Nova, who gave her $10,000 for her She Ready Foundation, benefiting foster kids who
so dope.
Go from one place to another. They take their stuff in their luggage. She gets them luggage, so they feel like they're going on a journey instead of throwing their stuff in trash bags.
That's dope.
And then the auction, she auctioned off some Lowry seasoning salt, and she made about $3,500 from that.
$3,500 on some seasoning salt.
That's dope.
Big. Them greens are gonna be lit. So shout out to Tiffany Haddish, and shout out to everybody that came.
You forget to tell people it was sold out.
Sold
out, lying around the corner.
So I'm in Vegas and I check in with the ticket office and they're like 48 tickets sold. When I tell you I could not sleep because I was like, oh, ain't nobody coming. It's going to be empty. This is oh my God, it's a flop. And she was really like, relax, they going to come. Everybody's going to come. It's going to be amazing. And it was more than sold out. There was a line wrapped around the corner. So shout out to all our fans and all her fans who came out to support.
Yeah.
It was a really good night. Amazing. All right. So what else have you been working on?
For me, of course, I'm always working on my vlog with my son, man. Make sure y'all check it out. Sunday Fun. Went to Sky Zone for the first time where you jump on the trampolines and shit.
Oh, that's fun.
I haven't did that in a long time. You don't know how scary a trampoline is until you're a grown-ass person with all that body weight. I was jumping way too high. I fell a couple times. I had to tap out. Last time you've been on the trampoline?
No, back in the day when me and Evan Ross used to get drunk in the hills, we would all be jumping on trampolines. But
that shit's scary.
I wasn't like jumping like they were. I'm my big ass ain't about to be flipping around on no goddamn.
That's
trampoline.
but you jump on it and you can't anticipate how high you're gonna go. I really had this. I was like, you know what, son, this is for you. This is way too.
So did he enjoy it?
Oh, he had a good time.
And you've taken your kids?
Oh yeah, they love it.
So it's just a place to let kids run loose and jump
I
around.
jump. And you know they have that wall so you can jump and then you can hit your body into the.
No, but for what?
I mean, I'm a big kid, so I don't care.
I almost killed the kids in there. My big ass was jumping around, knocking kids off the trampoline.
Yeah,
I felt
'cause
bad.
I know.
I was murdering kids in there.
Tiffany tells a story during our interview. She told a story during an interview how she killed an old man at a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
That was funny. She's a mess.
Oh my god.
But they tipped her.
I missed all these good stories.
After she killed the old man, the family tipped her after the fact. Like he went out with a bang.
It's like, bitch, we came up. We got this motherfucking insurance money.
Oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
I did.
What?
It's always about the bag. Listen,
Damn.
do you think
shit.
Listen, if I could be on a Norwegian cruise line and just, tip one of my siblings over the edge,
No.
I would get that bag.
No.
You are terrible for that.
Oh, don't say that's not true.
I would Cheryl. That's who I would push over there.
Cheryl.
Sorry, Cheryl. All right, so tell us about Chicago and the music.
Yeah, I mean, I filmed 2 videos. I was there for 3 days, and I got a lot of work done, man. I hardly slept, but it was well worth it. Shot 2 videos for my EP.
Nice.
Just trying to get the visuals done.
Smart.
Yeah, for when the songs are released, I go back in a week.
Nice.
To shoot another video.
Do it again.
Are you proud of the outcome of it? Oh.
I am so proud of the outcome, and a lot of what's going to be on my EP is just real. This is my truth, and I don't think people have really seen that kind of like raunchy side of me. They hear me talk about it, but they don't know like. I don't know. I guess when I ask people, they're like, "Yeah, you're so sweet, and you seem just so innocent." I'm like, "Huh?" Because I'm a mama. I'm innocent. Like, damn, I like sex. I like certain things.
What's interesting how, especially more for women than men, but women get put in a box of this is who you are. This is the only person we want you to be.
Yeah.
And so be that.
Yeah. No.
Well, fuck y'all. We're going to be what we want to be.
Right.
I have to tell you, last night I saw Bruno Mars. I forgot to tell you. I don't have many crushes, but I don't know that I have a crush on Bruno Mars because he's too small.
He is very little. Did you see him perform? You just saw him.
I was on set of one of his videos.
Oh, okay. He's dope though.
No,
he's got swag.
The boy can sing.
Boy can move,
and he's
too.
cool. And he's he's a master creative. So sitting back and watching him being in the video and then directing the video and then coordinating what dancers are doing and then making sure makeup. I mean, like he's
dope.
He's dope. But I do have a new celebrity crush. And unfortunately, he's married. I want to hack his wife's page. And
Idris?
no.
Oh.
Idris.
What's wrong with it? Oh, wait.
I love Idris. Oh my God, I was so mad that he get married.
Idris is not that's not my
Okay, who is he?
His name is Kane Brown. He's a black country singer.
Oh, he light skinned.
Light skin with the white wife.
Yeah, he was on
Good
he
Morning
was on
America.
The Voice. No, I'm talking about when he was on like The Voice or something. He performed on The Voice, and that was the first time I saw him. I was like, wow, he got some swag.
I ain't done enough research, but I went to go look at his Instagram page, and I was really excited because I was like, oh my God, I got a crush. And then every other photo was him and his wife. I'm
That's
like,
right.
That's right.
That's right,
man.
Kane.
why the fuck is she there?
Black men don't
Because he love
cheat.
her. You a damn fucking lie.
We don't cheat.
All men cheat.
No, black men don't cheat.
All men cheat.
Google it.
Men cheating has no color. You black, white, pink.
I don't want to say all men cheat, but most
Black
of y'all motherfuckers do.
Men.
And then y'all
don't
had a nerve
cheat.
to lie about it. That's what I don't
Well,
get.
I don't lie. First of all, I don't cheat and I don't lie.
Well, you just said all men, so take the back.
Yeah,
Hello.
well, all straight men. Gay men cheating just don't really count because we're men. It's not really cheating. It's like a negative and a negative equals a positive, right?
No, it makes no sense. Absolutely nothing.
Wait, in algebra, does a negative and a negative equals a positive?
No,
right?
it doesn't. It equals a negative.
No, it doesn't. A negative and a positive equals a negative.
If you multiply.
Right, but a negative and a negative does not equal positive. It equals a negative.
When my bank
just
accounts
said.
used to go negative and I was negative.
It was
I don't know.
negative.
I don't know.
It was still
Exactly. It was still negative.
Wait, is a negative and a negative still negative?
Yes, and a negative and a positive is still positive.
No, it's not. A negative and a positive is negative. Okay, listen, for all
Watch
of
we all be wrong.
For all of the scholars out there who are
dumb as
watching the
hell.
show, we literally are just acting to show you that it doesn't matter if you don't know anything you're learning in school because you can still be successful.
True.
All right, so Chris Brown is in the news. He was in Paris for Fashion Week and was arrested on charges of rape. A woman there claims that she met Brown and his friends at a club in Paris, and then they went back to the hotel, and she was allegedly raped. He's since come out and said that bitch is a lie, and I'm going to sue her, and that it's not true. And so there it is. Instagram has gone crazy. Social media has gone wild, and everybody has an opinion. What do you all think?
I just think it's actually really ridiculous. Like he has recently, to me, I feel like Chris is like very low key. He's been staying in. You don't really hear about him being out. And then the moment that he goes to Paris, and then what happened? Didn't he the first like he's owning his own masters and all this like this big announcement
Which is
of him?
great news, by the way.
Huge.
Amazing news that now someone wants to say that, oh, you raped me. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, Chris can get pussy anywhere, okay? He doesn't have to go and rape any woman. There's many and tons of women who would love to screw him. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, if that was in his character, we'd have been heard rumblings of that being in his character, right? We heard that he gets aggressive, he likes to fight, but never have we ever heard that Chris is taking pussy.
Come on.
Well, I'm going to go on record to saying that I believe it's all bullshit. And, you know,
Definitely.
with Chris Brown, it's so easy to throw shit on him because of his past.
Right.
But knowing Chris I don't know him now, but having known him before and having seen like all the stuff that's gone on with him and women in the news, he's been pretty much open about the things that he has done. I don't see this being a real story. But I watched a video that Oprah did online, and she said that when she was on trial in Texas with the beef industry, because she had said that she doesn't eat beef and that beef is bad or whatever, and then the industry like had a big impact and they sued her. She had to move her show and all her employees and stuff to Texas for like, I don't know however many weeks. She said that when she was on the stand and the man was yelling at her like, you're trying to destroy my client and destroy this industry and all that, she said she had to really stay calm and say, that is not who I am, and I'm not going to be invited to that energy because that's not who I am.
Right.
It's really hard when she was describing it. I'm thinking, when people attack you, you do want to get online and say, this ain't me, motherfucker. But if you know who you are, you don't even have to respond to it.
Exactly.
It's tough.
It's powerful to have that type of self-control. So, you know, shout out to Chris. You've been through a lot. We've been through a lot talking about you here on the show and on Hollywood Unlocked. But, you know, I hope it's cleared up quickly. And I do want to see him sue the girl because I do believe.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my friends said to me, oh, you know, when somebody comes for you, you do this, you do this, you do that. And I said, you know what? You motherfucking right. Because anybody that comes for me should know that you will be met with a fight. You will be met with a fight. And anything.
Hit him in the pockets.
Any resource, no, not just the pockets. There's so many ways of destroying somebody trying to destroy you. Some people say, don't give that energy. And maybe you don't give it energy. I don't know. I personally don't believe in being bullied or being run over or being taken advantage of. You know, with our Instagram being back, there were people paying hackers to hack our page, people and getting caught, fingerprints over everything. We're gonna get into that. There were people that hired employees on my team to work for them, to undermine me and to try to set up me up in my business. There were so many things working on the low that got caught. And so while many people would say, your Instagram is back, your show is popping, everything's great, you got Tiffany, move forward. I'm going to move forward. We're going to keep killing it. But I'm coming back to get you. So if you're watching, if you're a fan listening, please send this link right now to all of them because Jason Lee ain't even got started yet. I'm coming. And you're going to feel it. Oh, you're going to feel it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, it's so funny. As soon as the Instagram pages came up, the private investigator, because I had to find out where people lived. I had to find out what people were doing. I needed to know who I'm dealing with before I start to address things because it's going to be painful.
Well,
anyway.
In other news.
Let's move along.
All right. So it says in the news that Teyana Taylor slams the rumors that her husband impregnated a woman that they had a threesome with.
Oh.
Right. So Teyana deleted her Instagram account. It was said that Iman Shumpert had a threesome with his wife with Albie Rides, an adult porn star. And, you know, Teyana has a record called 3 Ways where she actually talked about her participation in a threesome with her husband. She went on Twitter saying that she's never seen or touched that girl in her life. My page is gone because I'm upset at Def Jam for not dropping my damn WTP, which is Work That Pussy video on time, per usual. It's really sad that these lies are entertained so much when it's not the truth. And Iman is not dumb. He knows that I would kill him. End of the story.
Hello.
So what do you guys think about that? That's crazy.
Well, I talked to Teyana. I mean, we didn't get into that. She's in Atlanta recording. She sounded upbeat, so she didn't sound like she was sad. This goes back to again where we live in a time where people have to go online and defend that they don't have a baby with a side chick.
But the thing about it is even if she did want to, because I've heard, we were talking about this earlier, me and Damage, like that she did an interview saying that she had a threesome, that's what they do.
They've been very open about
Right,
being-
but it's like, and then people want to slam her and her husband for that. You should never invited that into your house, but maybe she actually likes it. It's not always the man that likes having threesomes. There are women out here who actually like it too. You know what I'm saying?
But the greatest part about being in a relationship with another individual is you all get to define what that relationship is.
So,
and I think like with Iman, it's interesting that right when he drops, because he also does music. Right when he drops his music, then this rumor comes out, and then Teyana took to Instagram to explain. I mean, to Twitter to explain that she took it down because of her label.
Yeah.
But either way, what if they did have a baby with a third person? What would you do? I don't know.
Oh shit.
I mean, but I'm saying, if let's just
That's
say,
a whole nother question.
Right, it is. But let's just say that because they obviously do threesomes together, and that's something she knows. Then they'll handle it at the way that they need to handle it. But when two people are on the same page, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you're on the same page with someone and you're inviting that into then that's something that y'all gonna have to discuss together. You feel me?
But
I don't think she dumb to let him screw nobody without a condom. You feel me?
Nah.
I just don't think that.
But this is the sad truth right now. In social media, it's hard to live your truth. So I was kind of skeptical when she went on the interview talking about how she does threesomes being open like that, because now you invite people to have say in your personal life. Yeah, that is true. And yeah, you should live your truth. But it seemed like the more honest you are now in this world, the social media world, the more you got to defend, and people can bring up stuff, and now you got to keep defending your truth. If she would have never said that, people would have heard stuff like that and be like, I don't really believe it.
Yeah, but it's her truth. So what the fuck what?
But I
It's just a weird
will
time.
say the one thing that I won't do, because I think about that, what you just said is true.
It's fucked up.
I'm not going to allow myself to be baited into defending everything.
Yeah.
That one thing did bother me, though, because it's just the craziest thing. So I could understand where she is and wanting to respond. I mean, and knowing Iman, I'm sure, he's trying to figure out how to piece it all together, because, I mean, one, you got to manage your relationship and stay happy.
Yep.
Two, you have to think about your daughter's going to see this online at some point. And three, you definitely want to respond, because as a brand, it doesn't make you necessarily look good. But let me just say, one, if I was in a situation where me and my partner was hooking up, well, we wouldn't have no babies.
Exactly. So just leave it there.
Yo.
But do you think the woman, if there was a woman that had a baby or was pregnant, should she have an abortion, or should she let them make that decision for her?
Well, I mean, I think that it's her body.
Her body,
I think
her
it's her
choice.
body, so it's her choice. You feel me? Because it was a choice that they all made to sleep together.
But don't you think, though, that she should be like, okay, this is not my family. This is a hookup thing. I can't have this baby.
See, but that's a little deep. He
shouldn't be dumping off in it if that's the
right,
case.
exactly. Should
Especially
be,
if you
first
with
of all, and you should never finish. No man in a threesome, you should not be finishing with another
with the other chick.
Right.
Oh, that's how you
with
get your
another
ass
chick,
whooped.
unless your girl says so. And then if you make that decision and that choice to do so, and the girl gets pregnant, that's on you.
Yeah.
But I do think, though,
That's definitely how it works.
if you have the privilege of joining a happy couple and getting some dick or whatever you get, and you accidentally get pregnant, there shouldn't even be a conversation. The baby got to go.
No, that's not how that works.
The
No.
girl is
No,
not
because
gonna
that
let the
baby did not
man-
ask to be here, and I really truly believe in that. You should never, as three adults consenting in sex and activity and screwing each other, knowing you could get pregnant.
But
you don't get rid of no
that
child.
baby-
I don't care.
Hold
Then you
on.
should have never done it.
That baby did not even have a say so before it was forced into a world of chaos. You are
Yeah,
now,
but you
hold
as
on, hold on. You are
No.
now in a family that don't even want you. The
And guess
family
what?
don't want you.
And guess what? I'm sure they ain't got to be a part, but he need to do his part in making sure that baby is taken care of. That baby did not ask to be here, and that baby surely did not ask for these three people to have consensual sex.
But shouldn't that woman automatically know? Like, I didn't open up
No,
my.
that's not how that works.
I didn't open up my uterus to you. I opened up my vagina. So
yeah,
no,
but that's all a part of the functionality of
I
the
don't know
pussy.
that part of the body.
Fellas.
Unfortunately.
Do not nut in chicks if
Exactly.
you don't want to get her pregnant. Period.
Fellas,
Point blank. 'Cause
if you in a
that ain't cool.
threesome, you're nutting your wife.
That's it.
Yeah, but listen, this
You're
is
coming your girl,
Or
bro.
wear condoms.
This is 2019. Pull-out game
Facts.
is definitely back. Okay, so if you have strong pull-out game and some accidentally drip up in it,
No, that's
Dripping.
nasty anyway, because men
do
carry
dripping.
stuff and there's tricking. What is it? The trick? I'm just call it trick.
trick.
And there's BV. There's certain diseases and bacterial infections. Honey, please don't do that. Don't do that to yourselves, ladies. No.
excuse me, but the women is giving it to the men.
And y'all giving it to other women.
Uh-oh.
Actually, no, the women getting it from the men that got
It's
it
a
from
battle.
another man. That got it from another man.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh, let's
Next.
just move right along. All right, well, Teyana and Iman, I pray for peace and
And we love you.
But I will say again, just because you become a celebrity doesn't mean you need to be Beyonce, where everything about your personal life is on lockdown. Like, she's done a great job.
I agree.
Of keeping her business private. But I think that if you choose to share, you should be strong enough to deal with the people that now are invited to be a part of your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what's going on with Future?
Yeah, Future says Russell Wilson would do exactly what she tells him to do. She, of course, is Sierra, Future's ex-fiance. Future made an appearance on Beats One Radio for an interview to discuss the album Wizard. Love that album. And he claimed Sierra introduced his kid, baby Future, to Russell before Future and Russell ever met. And so on, so on. So basically, he's saying Russell just does whatever Sierra tells him to do. He doesn't feel like it's right for his son to be around Russell before they met, and a whole bunch of other things he said. But
he said that Russell's not being a man in that situation. But let me say that when I'm in a relationship, because I run my company, I run everything, my brand and all that. When I am in a relationship, I do like my partner to run things. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to come home and worry about where we going, what you want to do, what trip we taking. What, I don't even want to think about that. So I don't think it makes you any less. Because somebody asked me one day when I was with my ex, which one of you are the man and which one of you are the woman?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, well, first of all, we both have penises. So we're both men. But at home, I'm very submissive to what we're doing and what our life is going to be, because outside of that, I have to control everything. But I felt that was very interesting. Like, why does it make you less of a man? I think a man. I mean,
I feel like this is being taken out of context. When I feel like he says Russell's not being a man, as in man to man, right? So for me, I'm a man with a child, and if the mother of my child was to date somebody, I would want to meet him before they start interacting with my son, because I'm an active father. So I'm looking at what Future is saying is like, you not being a man, because regardless of what she is doing, you're supposed to come to me as a man.
But Sierra said she did. In the interview, she said she did go.
He said after the fact. And that's Future doing what he's doing, and that's his pride, and that's his ego. But he said they try to introduce him after the fact. You was already around my son, so why are you trying to introduce now? And like I said, that's on Future and his ego. But that's what he meant by man, integrity, man to man.
So at some point, you're going to have another man in your life. And when you do, are you going to overthink how you partner with that man? Or what do you make of all this?
No, because me and Omari don't really get along. So, no. Like, just on a normal day-to-day basis for 3 years of us being single, like, he's just not the friendliest person. So I don't know why I should have to consider, his feelings when it pertains to who I choose to love. Although, you know what I mean? Like, if he would like to meet them, but I'm not going to call and be like, yo, someone's in my life. Do you want to meet the person? Because we don't talk.
But not about that.
Wait. Let me ask. What do you think about Russell, though, how he showed up as a stepfather to Future's son? Because
I think he manned the fuck up.
Yeah, because one thing I would say, well, let me say this, because I'm sure you have strong opinions. When I see somebody, and let me start by saying, Future, I love you, and I love Future's music. He's one of my favorite rappers. That said, he just had 2 kids at the same time. He has shown a consistent pattern. I think he has about 10 children. He's shown a consistent pattern of not necessarily being the most present, responsible man in these in women's lives. So Sierra looked like she found her fairy tale husband.
Right.
And if they are happy with the way they live, why does anybody care?
And he still gets his son. They still co-parent.
Because
I got a question for both of y'all.
Russell's been a great daddy.
I got a question for both of y'all.
Okay.
If the tables would turn, if Future was the one to get a new girlfriend and brought baby Future around, the new girlfriend, and was parading him around, would that be wrong?
I wouldn't care. Like, for example, if Omari basically got into a relationship with someone and it was a woman that was around my children, and she did come around me, I would expect her to speak.
No, not come around you. Just you see on social media that somebody's around your kids.
Yeah.
Like a woman.
Yeah, to me, I wouldn't care. But if my kids come back and say that there's something funny happening, or if my kids are acting different, then we're going to have a problem. Other than that, I could really care who he has in his life.
We've had Tori Hart here, and I asked her, did Aniko ask you for permission before she started taking pictures with your children and all of that? And she said no.
Right.
That's a different situation where there's no family. Like, let's take a step back, because right now what we're doing is we're making this about Sierra, Future, and Russell instead of the kid, right? The kid deserves love.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the kid deserves love.
Right.
But the parents have a responsibility on how they all share that love with that kid. I think that if if Russell shows up and becomes a good stepdad to a kid whose father is intentionally absent, then that parent loses their their opportunity to participate in that process.
Right.
So we know for a fact that Future is an absent father. That's what we're saying right now.
Well, what is a fact when we're not in the relationship? From the outside, one could speculate based on all the
because he doesn't
online.
seem like an absent father. It's not like he's dead or he's on drugs or he's in jail.
But
he doesn't seem like.
No, but just like
my dad ain't never did drugs. My dad worked in the jail and he was absent as fuck. Absent, big ass A on his motherfucking report
so
card.
true.
So you ain't gotta have drugs. You ain't got. He had a whole family, a whole wife, a whole kid, a whole liquor store, a whole job career.
And you
was
seeing your
absent.
children for 2 days out of the fucking month, and then when you see them and you want to put it on social media and disperse those photos when you do see them, because that's a lot of fathers out here, or just whatever, the parents that are Instagram, social media parents,
yeah.
and then people believe,
No, I feel
you're
that.
a good parent. Like, no, you're not.
If you see
I hear
your,
that.
if you see your kid on Instagram more than in person, you a fuck boy. Period.
Period.
And at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about your record, your tour. I don't give a fuck about your
But
endorsements.
is that what's happening?
But we've seen more pictures of Russell and Future's baby
And
than
video.
Future and his child.
Truth.
But who has custody of the
Listen,
child?
it don't matter.
I'm
See,
saying it
yeah.
because I'm a dad.
Wait.
I'm saying it because I'm a dad.
But you know
exactly.
But you know what's problem? What's the problem? Is, and this is not to you. This is just for men out there listening. My father, I'm 41 and barely starting to deal with the shit from my dad abandoning me. You have an obligation to fight for your child. It ain't about whether you and the baby mom don't get along. It ain't about whether or not there's a new guy. You're supposed to fight to be in your kid's life.
Right.
And so if you and your girl can't figure it out, guess what? You got to put all your pride aside and say, whatever I got to do to fix this, because I want to get to that. Men don't do that. Because all men don't give a fuck about their kids.
there's definitely some pride issues there. But let's take it back to the original question, right? Is it wrong for somebody to want to meet man to man before somebody's around your kids? Because I know that's what I will. I would want that respect. I'm an active father. If the mother of my son was to date somebody new and he's playing with my son and picking him up and flipping him around.
But I answered that question. I'm going to tell you the answer one more time. It really depends on how active that person is in trying to be a father to that child.
Okay.
You cannot be an you cannot abandon the kid. And let's back up. The kid's life is going to be based on what stability they have around them, right? Love, are they eating regularly? Do they sleep comfortable at night? Are they going to a good school? And if you're a father that has the means to provide that, and you get mad at her and I ain't fucking with that bitch, fuck that bitch, and you abandon her to where she financially now can't lay out all the things that child deserves, and you prevent that child from having the nurture and the resources to become the best individual that they can, that had nothing to do with whatever you're doing. And then because you see her become happy and stable with a person that now is providing that for him, and you pop up saying, because I gave you my cum, I have the right to have an opinion. Fuck you, have a seat.
That's so true.
You don't. Because I don't think what people realize, my mother and my father, he was a correction officer and she worked at the California Youth Authority. Both of them very successful in their own right. They met, they came together. He had a whole family and a wife. She knew that. They had sex. They had me. He backed off. She couldn't deal with raising a kid on her own. She then got into drugs. She then couldn't raise me. She then put me in foster care. That broken relationship set the trajectory of what could have been a stereotypical failure in life. I just figured how to take, oh, you gonna try that? Okay, cool. Oh, you gonna try that? Okay, I don't need nobody. I'm gonna do it. But that's not based on statistics, that's not every individual's own willpower. I will say any man who abandons their kids to only show up when that kid and that woman is happy to demand equal rights can suck a bag of dicks.
Truth.
Well, I got a scenario. I remember I was dating somebody who I felt like I was going to get serious with. And as you know, I have a son. And I brought my son around that woman because this is somebody I was vibing with, right? And I got a lot of being cursed out, being harassed by the mother of my child because she was like, you just don't do that. That's not respectful. That's very disrespectful. I'm, Legend's mother. You can't just do that. Me and her have to meet before she comes around my son. And at the time I was young, I didn't get it. But I learned that. And that's how I look at this situation. Like, yeah, you know what? Maybe those two should meet. You know what I'm saying? Does no one feel like that's the case?
No, I don't think you're wrong for feeling like that. I mean, I think it's each is their own.
And I know for me, I've dated people that had kids and, they try to put me around their kids. And I'm just like, honestly, that person has an active father, even if you don't want to introduce us, I'm going to find my way to introduce because it's disrespectful.
But I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I wouldn't do it because it's not going to matter anyway. He's going to feel how he feels. He's not going to like the person. Even if I do have respect,
I get that.
still, you get what I'm saying?
I get
because
it.
we don't get along. It's like, here, Omari, this is he's still going to be like, fuck that nigga, I don't care. You know what I mean? He's just
and again, it's less about the men. The whole conversation
It's the kids.
The whole conversation, from at least at the lens that I'm seeing it through in here, and how I'm hearing it, is about what the man is entitled to. It's all about what serves the kid at their best interest.
I agree.
You know, one thing when people say, "Oh yeah, Damage is a great choice for the show," like, why'd you choose Damage? One of the things that I think is the most appealing about you is your relationship with your son. And most black men, I'm gonna put it out there, I don't give a fuck what y'all say, most black men are absent in their kids' lives, then turn around to blame the system or the man or the bitch or the this on why their kid ain't shit. So I know for me personally, you know, when I hear guys talking about, yeah, my kid, as if it's a product.
Yeah.
It's a human life that's going to have an effect on our world for the rest of the life. So I just don't get it. And I look at Russell, you know, at first there was a little circumspective. Why is he trying to be with Sierra? Because niggas be, when it comes to like an April 2.5 million followers, niggas want clout. Like, they'll get with a girl because they get clout, at least in this industry. So at first I thought it was a clout thing, but when I saw how he stayed abstinent until they got married because he wanted to respect the purity of the relationship, to come in and take on, what was that about?
Oh, okay.
But some men do that. Some men do that.
Sure. Okay. All right, I have another question. Before we get off the Future thing, right? Because he was talking about, like, if I was with you, you wouldn't even be talking about your ex. You're suing me for money and your husband's rich. How do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like that's like a shot at Russell? Like, if I was with a woman and she's trying to sue her ex and I'm rich, I'd be like, yo, chill. Like, let's move on. Like, how do y'all feel about that?
Because her getting with another man with money doesn't take away his obligations to that kid.
But that's not what the lawsuit is about. It's not about
What's the lawsuit about?
The lawsuit is about some like defamation on Twitter. It's when they were being petty at each other and she tried to sue him.
Well, let's go back. She's a brand.
Right.
She's a brand. She's a
It's
brand.
just like Rihanna and her dad.
She's a brand that, she owe that nigga money, but
No, because she's still a fucking brand.
But listen. No, but meaning Sierra was a woman who started her musical career on her own, rose up through the ranks, then became notable in fashion because of, she's a beautiful woman and she was doing her thing. And although she's not had the success of a Beyonce or a Rihanna, she established her own brand. And so when you get with a man who's used to fucking with strippers or hoes on the block, and then they start shitting on you, now you shitting on my brand. Absolutely, I'm coming for you.
So how do you feel about that?
I say I agree with Jason. And we can leave it there.
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's time for another Hollywood hookup.
What's up?
We in Hollywood, and me and you, we go on a lot of auditions and interviews, just trying to get our brands out there. And sometimes you got to look the part, but you want to look fly. That's why I mess with Untuck It, right? So Untuck It specifically makes shirts designed to be worn untucked. So if you're going on that interview, that audition, and you want to look the part, you got to rock with Untuck It.
Guys, come on.
You could even wear it at the office. I know we at the studio right now, but if we had to step into some office spaces, I'm rocking with Untuck It.
Still got to look fresh.
Okay?
All right.
So with more than 50 fit combinations, Untuck It shirts look great on people that's tall like me. You could be short, slim, or even athletic. If you're in the gym, you lifting heavy. Untuck It got a shirt for you.
It's got your muscles.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good for muscles.
Nice little tight fit. Got you. So this is what you got to do. Go to untuckit.com or visit one of Untuck It's 50 stores across the U.S. and Canada. Yeah, they're even in Canada.
Wow, that's dope.
Untuck It even offers free shipping and returns on all orders in the U.S.
Yes, sir.
So if you want the perfect fitting shirt, regardless of your shape and size, try the original Untuck It shirt.
It's for everybody.
Use promo code UNLOCKED for 20% off your first purchase.
That's right.
Hello.
So Kimora Lee reportedly gets into a scuffle over a parking spot. I don't know if you guys have ever had this situation. This is really funny. So another fight broke out. A fight broke out between her and another driver over a parking space at FedEx in LA. They're saying that Kimora took off, and so the other woman called the cops. But later that day, Kimora contacted the police and filed her own, one of her own against the lady. And now they're looking at surveillance footage to see what actually happened. Have you guys ever gotten to a
Hell
stuff
yeah.
over parking spot?
Yup, especially at a FedEx. You know, there's that little ass parking lot in FedEx. So you waiting for the spot and then somebody just
Right.
by you. Yo, we throwing hands for that spot. For real, that's disrespect. You see me waiting there all this time for this one ass parking space, and you try to slide in.
But she has too much to lose, I feel like, to be sitting here
But
outside.
you're still human. It's
Fighting
like,
over a goddamn parking spot.
When you get filled with rage, you don't even think about what you have to lose. I will tell a story I don't think I've ever told on the show. So it's not a parking lot story, but it's a road rage story. So I used to work. So I've been in group homes, then I went to work at a group home. So I'm in a group home. I actually have. I used to have cornrows because I had long hair. And so I'm in the car. I have these two kids. We had just came from Target where they were buying school clothes. Mm-hmm. And I used to always talk about, my story and how you can be successful and, how to maintain your anger, maintain your cool and not being angry. I have a black dude and a white dude in the car. White dude in the front seat, black dude in the back seat. So we rode. And this guy is like cutting me off. So I'm like, yo, and I'm in my personal car. So I'm like trying to be careful. And he's white dude with a big white dude with a tie on, and he starts yelling, nigger, watch where you going, nigger. And I'm getting pissed. And so I'm thinking, oh shit, okay, I'm about to lose my job. He pulls up on the side of us where the kid is, and the windows are down, and he spits into my car from where so his window's right here, we're right here,
Never.
2 lanes. He spits over into the car. So I'm like, bitch, pull over. Like, fuck it, pull over. So he doesn't pull over. He pulls in front of me, stops his car, gets out.
Yeah.
We're in rush hour
It's
traffic.
game time.
But now I'm like, oh shit. I got the kids in the car though, because I had forgot when he spit in the car. I'm like, bitch, it was just a reaction thing. So he comes and he's standing by my window and he's like, get out the car, motherfucker, get out the car. I'm like, yo, you need to back the fuck away from my car. He reaches in to open the door. So now I push the door and I get out the car. Squaring off with this dude in the street. We get into a big old fight. I'm on top of him, banging his head in the ground, punching him all in his face, all blood everywhere. He pulling my hair, everything. So I get back in the car, and the kids are sitting there looking at me, and the kid in the back was a black dude I think he was from Alabama. He says, man, you supposed to be a role model. It was the funniest thing, but I remember getting back to the group home and walking in with blood all over me and my hair pulled out. And
Yeah, once he spit on you, though, it's game time.
Yeah.
He should have never spit. That's where it went too far. Everything else probably could have been excused,
At
but
first
once he put his body fluids on you.
the nigger thing was one thing. And I was like,
That's
Yeah,
something
then the
you can-
spitting was a
the
second. And the
spitting-
simple fact that you're trying to open up my motherfucking
Yeah.
door, now you've invaded my
It's game time.
privacy.
when that spit flew in my car,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
It's game time.
You need your ass whooped. But that motherfucker was bold. He pulled in front of me. Shout out to the man from Coca-Cola. There was a Coca-Cola truck driver in traffic. He got out and was pulling us apart because I was really trying to kill him.
He
I
spit on
literally,
you.
I had my hand around his neck and I was banging his head in the ground. And so the sheriff comes and I'm explaining to the sheriff what happened. And he was like, shit, did you kick his ass? I was like, yeah, I kicked his ass. Because by that time he had drove away.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you should have kicked his ass. He was like, fuck that. Fuck that motherfucker. So I get back. I walk in. My boss at the time, Wes, and shout out to Sandra Weeks, my coworker. She's standing in the kitchen, and I walk in, blood everywhere, hair pulled out. They thought I had beat up one of the kids. And I had to explain what happened. But I just feel like people nowadays feel like they can say and do anything to
they're
you.
entitled.
In the car. It's like they feel like it's this protective screen over them in the car. People say crazy things to me all day when
I
I'm
just
driving in
get nervous
traffic.
with that shit because people are really like crazy
Yeah.
now, and
You
the
don't know who
gun
has a
shit.
gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So now I just be like, you can have the space. I got kids. I don't got time for that.
See, this was before people were like getting shot in their car. Like now, road rage, you cut me off, fuck you, motherfucking nigga. I'd be like, all right, Tim, have a good one. Keep it moving.
It's always an old white lady talking shit to me. And when she doing wrong, not looking and cutting me off or coming out of parking space, I'm like, yo, she's like, what the fuck you want to do? I'm like, really, lady? You feel like this car is going to protect you? Like, all right.
But this is where you got to roll up on her and say, look, Betty White, I'll kill you, bitch. She'll leave you alone.
Oh, I'll get out the car, but I don't want to talk about that.
No, we not gonna. We love our senior citizens.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so Cardi B is, Cardi B for president. Can I just say that this woman, she knows how to use her platform, and she has been very vocal about, the government shutdown and has made all the news, CNN, MSNBC, everything. And so she's been really
Use your
vocal on that.
platform.
Tommy Loren, the social troll who is clearly a racist and allegedly a racist, perceivably a racist. I don't know. She just don't seem to really like black people. Tommy Loren went on Twitter to poke fun at Cardi, and she said, looks like Cardi B is the latest genius political mind to endorse the Democrats. Keep it up, guys. Make America great again 2020. And Cardi saw that a couple of days later and said, leave me alone because I will dog walk you.
Facts.
What do you think?
She needed to hear that.
It,
See, we had a time where people just say anything on social media and they don't have to be held accountable. Cardi, I don't want her to beat nobody's ass, but if she did have to, Tommy Lauren is like on the top of that list. Like, whoop her ass.
She's just always in some
talking shit all the time. Like, shut up.
That's because somebody ran up on her. Didn't a white woman run up on her at a restaurant?
That's what she needs.
Some white women ran up on her at a restaurant telling her basically to get the fuck out because she was a racist. And let me say again, racism is only going to change when other white people stand up to white people.
Right.
Like, it ain't like, I was watching, Martin Luther King Day just passed, and I've been watching old Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King conversations. And I will take a moment to say, I've made a joke on the show before about Coretta Scott King in humor, just being funny or whatever. But I watched a video interview of her with a guy from 2020 right after Martin Luther King died. And I mean, she's such a phenomenal woman. I knew she was phenomenal and I knew he's phenomenal, but to listen to her power right after Martin Luther King died about her family and about her vision for the country and peace and this and that. I mean, those type of people are off limits. So I take them jokes back. But I think white people need to stand up. More white people need to stand up in the face of racism because that's the only way it's going to go away.
Well, I'm glad somebody pressed her.
Me too.
She needs some teeth knocked the fuck
Hooray
out.
for Cardi.
For real.
We love Cardi.
All right, so Kamala Harris is in the news.
Yeah.
I love, is it Kamala or Kamala? Well, Kamala Harris. I remember back in my union days working to help get Kamala elected in the Bay Area. And she was our attorney general in California, for, I think 2-term attorney general. And then she's gone on to the Senate, and now she's announced that she's running for president. I'm happy that she's a woman of color, and I'm happy that she's running for president, but I'm sorry, she ain't going to get it.
She ain't going to get it?
She's not going to get it.
Why you say that? Because you from the Bay, right?
Why don't you think she going to get it?
Not for any scandal or any other reason than that. Kamala, for me, with what's going on right now, hasn't proven herself enough. And it's
You don't think she got time? She got some time.
I think she has some time, but I think if Joe Biden puts his hat in, his name in the hat, I'm rocking with Joe. And Obama needs to come back as the vice president.
He's not doing that.
Right.
Don't ever.
He's not.
How? So?
He said it.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like, they done. Him and his wife said it like, we're good. They look so much happier now. I feel like they're making a lot of real change now that they're not.
Obama got a lot of gray hairs, yo.
Yeah.
He got gray real fast.
Obama's still fine.
They've been making some real change outside of that seat. Like, they've been really making some real change.
They are. Well, right now, Michelle Obama is voted the most influential woman in the world.
I like that.
And so she'd be a great vice president. But anyway, if Joe Biden puts his name in the hat, I'm rocking with Joe. Not Bernie. Bernie not gonna make it all the way through. Joe and all these other people that are running, I don't see it for them. Right. I just don't. But I think we're gonna have some good contenders.
Yo, Bernie and Joe, I like that. I like how that's
We just
looking.
need Trump gone.
Now,
Nancy Pelosi for president. Nancy Pelosi she is fucking Trump's whole shit up right now. Because Trump wants to, she wanted to go visit the people fighting the war or the military. She wanted to go visit the military. He shut that down. So now he wants to do a State of the Union. Now she shut that down. So he's learning the balance of power in our government is real. And I think the best part about it all is that Nancy Pelosi has been a thug in the government for years. And now you have to go to the table and deal with this woman who ain't gonna let you grab her by the pussy.
She ain't with the shit.
She's not gonna let you grab her by the pussy.
I can't touch it.
That's dope though.
You can't touch it. Da-na-na-na, okay. Anyway.
Oh shit, my bad.
He was really in it still. He still was like this.
All right, so there is a Native American, one of the founding fathers of our country. Is that even accurate?
So a video went viral with Nathan Phillips, who's 64, who's a Vietnam veteran. He saw these young kids in D.C. fighting, who had MAGA hats on, fighting against these black Hebrew Israelites. So he basically wanted to turn this negative event into a positive one by playing a spiritual song. And they started to attack this, war veteran. So
you mean attack like physically? Like they put hands on him?
No, just kind of yelling at him and just standing in front of him while he's playing the spiritual song and, they were just it's like antagonizing him. In a sense.
At least that's what the clips show.
Yeah.
Now more footage has come out, and apparently what happened is the black Hebrew Israelites were attacking these young white kids.
I believe that.
And all these young white kids did have on the Make America Great hat on or whatever. And so as they were attacking them, and I mean literally like verbally abused, like cussing at them and all that.
That's what they do.
They then started a big chant. So as a group, they started chanting basically against the black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Then the Indian guy, the veteran, saw them and tried to do the whole peaceful thing and try to draw, them all together. But then what happened was there was a moment that caught this kid standing in his face, just looking at him with a smirk on his face while you see all the chanting in the background. And so that clip came out before everything else came out.
Okay.
And so the kid has now released a statement saying, like, he can stand on the steps and do whatever he wants to do, talking about the veteran, but these guys were attacking us, and now you guys have blown this all out of proportion and making me look like I'm the bad guy when I didn't. But social media wasn't having it, and people went crazy. I even posted it because it looked a certain way.
Crazy.
It did.
But the crazy thing is that Donald Trump has everybody in America and in the world so uptight and so mad and so angry and so defensive that we're waiting for somebody to try to do some funny shit and we're ready to attack.
Exactly.
So what do you guys think about them just jumping to conclusions?
Well, I don't know about the conclusions, but I know them Hebrew Israelites, they attack everybody wherever they at. They stand on the corner, they scream at people. They scream at you if you're black, white, Asian. They always got some real disrespectful things to say. And I can say this because I used to be a Hebrew Israelite, so this is coming from love, but the ones you see out there, those black, they always saying some foul shit. So I can see how that all started.
So you were a Hebrew Israelite. You were one of them?
Not like that.
Okay, what's the difference?
There's a huge difference, but I was a Hebrew Israelite.
But what is a Hebrew?
Well, those people, like, they try to go out and try to convert people, but the way they do it is very aggressive and it's very demeaning, and they say things like they curse the Bible. Like, they just do things that's kind of outlandish. So it's like, you know how you got like Islam and then you got people that do bad in Islam? It's not like the religion is bad. Those people are bad. There's always sections of something where people are doing some fucked up shit.
So what is a Hebrew Israelite? Like, what do they serve? Do they serve God? Do they believe
They're like kind of like black Jews. There's a lot to get into, but long story short, there's a section of them that go out and they're trying to recruit people, but the way they do it is always super aggressive. I know y'all probably seen them downtown.
I've seen them in Times Square.
Yeah, screaming at people. And it's never like nothing positive. It's always like
really intimidating and really negative.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can see how they brought that energy on themselves.
Well, I think the unfortunate part, I mean, let's be clear. None of us think that America's being made great again.
No, it's not.
Because America was actually really good when Obama was here.
It seemed good.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at that clip, of course, I immediately got angry because I think in my mind I have so many opinions already formulated about where our country is on race. Because I think since Donald Trump's been in office, racism has found its way back to the top, and I think in a more aggressive and more overt way than ever. I mean, I've never Charlottesville, just one example of where you would have never thought a president would have came out and said there were good people on both sides,
right? To
try to bring equality to the responsibility of what happened in Charlottesville. But yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate, but that guy has come out and spoke, and he's felt like he was being intimidated as well. And I don't know. What you think about it?
Honestly, I was enraged too because I didn't know the full story, and now that I know it, it's like, oh, okay, I can understand where those kids were coming from. You know, if they're being screamed at and attacked as well. So when I first saw it, because I only saw the clip, I was like, oh my God, this little young white boy is kind of just attacking this older 64-year-old man, and it just looked really bad. But now I get it, I understand. I don't know, man. It's just a lot happening. It's a lot happening.
He stepped into the middle of the fire, and I'm not saying,
yeah.
it's not good.
No, but it is. The racism thing is really serious because this weekend, honestly, when I was shooting my music video, I had a friend, and just to go to this story, I had a friend who came to see me, and she was getting ready to get into the elevator to come upstairs. And this white man was standing outside the elevator. He goes, yeah, I'm getting on the elevator. She goes, okay, we all can get on the elevator. And he was like, absolutely not. And he got off and ended up walking up the stairs. But I'm like, really?
Well, let him walk.
But it's like getting so bad. Like, you can't ride an elevator?
It's not getting bad. It's being shown now. That's why I like what's going on for a little bit. Like, because before I feel like people were hiding it and it was like behind closed doors. I like when you know who somebody is.
I just said, thank God I went down there because I would have.
I will just push back a little bit and say I think it's getting worse is because, racism didn't start in the era of social media. So you couldn't really see an issue in Alabama as quickly as you could see it now, and it be multiplied and in your face all day long. Social media, whether it's somebody else's life better than yours, or somebody else's situation better than yours, or something really, really bad, or somebody dying, like Philando Castile. How many of us sat there and watched that image over and over and over, and sent it to people and shared it with people and report, we became consumed with it. And I feel with anything, if you are consumed with it, it will start to eat you up inside and deteriorate any type of light that you would have. And I think that we do live in an era now where there's a hashtag, Black Lives Matter, where you could literally search it and all day long scroll through how we're getting fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, on a lighter note, just not to blow anybody off, no pun intended, there was a man on a passenger train who masturbated, and then after he let off, he wiped it off on a pole and smoked a cigarette.
Ew. I guess it's no different than people peeing and stuff like that.
No, that's way different.
Listen, you never know when you gotta just
get it off.
Not on the train in front of people and wipe it on the pole.
Well, I don't think people should be exposing themselves anywhere. But on that note, on a lighter note, we made it through a show. All right. So do y'all want to say anything or plug anything before we leave?
Of course. Check out my vlog with me and my son, man. Sunday Fun Day. That's SON Day Fun on YouTube. Subscribe. Me and my son trying to do some positive things out here. Show, a black father and son running around LA making a mess.
And still catch my record that I released, Shoulda Known Better, on YouTube. Go on my page. You can see the video and all that good stuff.
And go to thehollywoodunlocked.com/shop right here, because Black Brands Matter. We're going to have some stuff up there. And we're going to be getting more into what happened with our Instagram and all of the things that affect Black brands. Oh, and I'm about to launch something that's so amazing, but I'm going to tell y'all next show. But until then, we out.
Peace.